to personalize this a little bit more. When I first met Tina, I was like,
Uh-oh,
Tina
uh-oh.
needs a psychobiotic. We're
Absolutely.
not necessarily talking about people who are on the severe end of depression, anxiety, and all that, right? That's actually quite rare to see people that are hospitalized, can't leave the house because of the depression, anxiety. What you tend to have are people that are functioning day to day with generalized anxiety disorder or some degree of depression, right? Now, what tends to happen is because there's a stigma of being treated for those conditions. So most people don't go to see a doctor for it. And in most cases, if you go to see a doctor for it, you may not have successful treatment anyway. So people self medicate, right? And we self medicate through drinking and other behaviors that we use to try to stimulate dopamine. Dopamine counteracts those negative effects. So what we're doing is we get addicted to things, we get obsessed about things because we're trying to stoke dopamine. And it might be food, it might be sex, it might be going out, it might be validation on social media, right? There's so many ways we try to stoke dopamine, but all of that is to self medicate because we're not appropriately dealing with stress. Now, the big problem with this is stress is the number one driver of health conditions globally. If you look at first world countries, right? 2015 publication in the Frontiers of Immunology, which is a meta analysis paper, which means they reviewed hundreds of other studies on the topic. They concluded that the number one driver of morbidity and mortality worldwide was stress and stress induced endotoxemia, which is leaky gut, right? So then when you boil that down, you go, okay, so stress is really harmful to the body, and we could talk about how it does that, right? But then what is causing us to have this profound level of stress, right? Yes, we have exposure to lots of different things. We have distraction from media and all that all over the place. But life right now is not anywhere close to being as stressful as it used to